Kong Skull Island is the brand new King Kong movie, and I really do mean that as well, because I've seen people say, oh, it's just another King Kong movie, but it's actually not. It's not the classic King Kong story where he gets brought back to America and the whole thing with the Empire State Building and the biplanes. This is not that movie. This film takes place in the 1970s, just after the Vietnam War, and a bunch of scientists and soldiers go on a geological expedition to this new island that they've just discovered called Skull Island to find out if there's any new creatures, any new wildlife, and what's in the ecosystem, and it turns out there just might be a king roaming around. So then disaster strikes, and now these people have to survive the dangers of Skull Island. Okay, going into this film, I wanted nothing more than King Kong kicking ass. That's all I wanted to see, and when King Kong is on screen in this film, it is just something to behold. I mean, seriously, when he's there and he is just towering over these cliffs and mountains, it is such an amazing CGI spectacle. And when King Kong is beating the piss out of everything in sight, he's throwing helicopters into each other, he's beating the hell out of these skull crawlers, it is some really awesomely exciting stuff. The last 20 minutes of this film, the big climax where he's just beating the hell out of this big skull crawler, my heart was actually pounding because of how awesome just the sheer spectacle of him just beating the hell out of this thing was, because there's both such big massive creatures, it's so larger than life, and the CGI was really well blended with all the environments. You remember the 2014 Godzilla movie where Godzilla is just throwing the Mutos into the buildings, and it was just so epic. It's not as epic as Godzilla, but it's epic in its own way. That's what I went to go watch Kong Skull Island for, King Kong kicking ass, so when he was on screen kicking ass, I was satisfied as hell. But of course, that's not all I'm going to get with Kong Skull Island. I'm going to get some human characters as well, and they're not really that great in this film. Good human characters in a monster movie or a disaster movie for me are like a good bonus. Like, if you get the epic action and the awesome excitement with the monsters throwing down, but you also have good human characters, it's like, oh, the film went the extra mile and gave us some good characters. It's just Kong Skull Island doesn't really go that extra mile. None of the characters are really interesting, they're not really that well established. Some of them have a little bit of backstory, but it's not really well fleshed out. You don't really care about them that much. And I've already seen some people come to the film's defense saying, oh, why'd you go and watch a King Kong movie for good characters? I didn't necessarily, I just gotta mention it because the film concentrates on the human characters throughout the entire thing. So it'd be kind of wrong for me not to mention it, and especially because the characters are the glaring weakness of the film for me, so I gotta bring it up. The characters were by far the weakness of the film, and it brought the film down for me. But I'm not sitting here ranting about it because the characters weren't annoying, and I wasn't expecting them to be great, so I'm not like, you know, angry or anything, but I still gotta bring it up because it is a review after all, and I gotta be honest. And also the characters get involved in all these cliche things, like Samuel Jackson is like the colonel of the soldiers that are there, and he's the one who like doesn't listen to logic and reason. He's got a personal vendetta. He's like, no, we are going here and we are doing that. Terrible Samuel Jackson impression, I know, but he's just not listening to the scientists, and he's not obviously paying attention to the enormous monsters just destroying the place, and it sets up for like the human tension, the conflict, and stuff you've seen a million times before. Other side things next to the characters that I didn't like, the 70s music. I feel like this film takes place in the 70s just for the sake of having 70s music play in random scenes, like some CCR starts playing at one point, like you saw in the trailer. It just didn't really add anything to the film. It set up a good 70s vibe at the beginning, like with a couple of the songs, but at a point I was like, whoa, they're playing another 70s song right now, and it just didn't really fully work for me. And some of the CGI shots outside of King Kong and the skull crawlers looks very unconvincing. Like, there's a part where they're dropping the bombs and one explodes, and you see like all the fire and explosions and trees and animals running away, and it looks really, really fake. But apart from that, I enjoyed Kong Skull Island for what the film was trying to be, and that's nothing more than exciting blockbuster escapist entertainment. When Kong is on screen kicking ass, it is awesome, it is exciting, it is heart-pounding, especially in the last 20 minutes. But the bland human characters do bring the film down, so overall I'm going to give Kong Skull Island a 3 out of 5. And if you're interested, there is a scene at the very end of the credits that sets up a couple of things that's coming later down the line, although it's probably the least subtle post-credit scene that I've ever seen. Still cool though. Thank you very much for watching the video as always, guys. Let me know in the comments below, what did you think of Kong Skull Island, and if you want to see more of my stuff, click on one of these, and I'll see you all in the next video.